Hey guys, it's Brian here, and so I'm back with another MANHWA type video. I haven't filmed one of these type of videos in so long. Also, I'm trying to play around with my lighting because I kind of hate it compared to like my old videos back in my old bedroom when I lived with my parents, so bear with that. But anyways, I'm back with a MANHWA type video, but just MANHWA recommendations. I will say I don't believe I've read most of these, but I've made this list so long ago and I just forgot about it and stumbled upon it. And so today, as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about MANHWA with short-haired female lead characters because I feel like that's just something I never really see and not something I reach for. So we're going to talk about them. I'll insert a picture or two and I'll read the synopsis, and yeah, we'll go from there and let me know if you've heard of these before or not. And yeah, let's just have a conversation started down below. Alright, and so the first MANHWA that I saw, I was really intrigued. It looks really like badass. And so it is called Crimson Karma. And so let's hop into the synopsis. Like always, if you're familiar with these type of videos on my channels, I use Kitsu, which is just like an anime manga tracking app. And so that's where I'm getting the synopsis from, and it does have a 76% community approval rating, so it seems like it's a good MANHWA. Cassia Del Roman is a soldier crafted to become an assassin. She lost her human emotions long ago and lived her life as a simple tool, just to be thrown away in her final moments. She couldn't even die a proper death as she opened her eyes to a battlefield of a different world. Will she live the same life she did in her original world? So it sounds like an isekai, which I feel like really popped off more recently, or at least a few years ago. It is finished according to Kitsu, and it is 118 chapters, so if you're looking for something finished as well, this could be a good one for you. Alright, so the next one has two names, so I wrote it down as A Good Day to Be a Dog, which is a very curious name, if you will, but on Kitsu, the proper name translation is Lovely Again Today. And so this definitely, normally on my channel, if you're familiar with it, I talk about more like princess, isekai, historical manga, this, or manhwa in this case, and this one to me, it does not look like that case. It has a really good community approval rating of 81%, and it started getting published in 2017, so something tells me this will be finished. But so the synopsis is a push and pull romance between a woman who is trying to solve a curse that turns her into a dog every midnight and a man who is afraid of dogs. So it sounds like it will be some kind of like a comedy fantasy. It is 92 chapters and it is finished. It seems really popular with like good ratings. So yeah, I might end up checking that out. I am trying to read manga and manhwa again. I've been looking for apps to read them off of because I prefer apps over like websites. But yeah, I think for my goal for next year, since we're more than halfway through the year, is to pick up manga and manhwa again. Alright, and so the next one is definitely what's more usually on my channel, and it is called The Heiress's Double Life. And so it is a female lead with short pink hair, and it does have a good community approval rating. I'm not sure how popular Kitsu is now because when during COVID it was really popular, but no one ever really talks about it. But I just prefer it over the anime. Is it anime fan list? No, is it Mal, where everyone tracks their anime usually? I just don't like that one as much. Yeah, my anime list, that's what it's called. But let's get into the synopsis. So it says Rexid van Hexen, Prince of the Hexen Empire and feared defender of the border, wants to become emperor. But because his brain doesn't even come close to his brawn, he enlists the help of the Viper, a notorious swindler and master of disguise. With her life on the line, the Viper must now pull off her greatest scam while posing as Rexid's heiress. Will the unlikely duo succeed, or will they end up being deceived themselves? It is also finished with 130 chapters. Man, I feel like everything I used to read before came out during COVID. So seeing all these finished manhwa makes me so excited because yeah, nothing was ever finished. I was always waiting for like weekly uploads, so this is so nice. Alright, and so the next one is something I've wanted to check out since it came out, which was in 2019, and it is called Inso's Law. I don't know why I never checked it out, but there was just always something about it I was intrigued by. And so, again, a high community approval, and let's just hop into the synopsis. I just want to live a normal life. Why is this happening to me? Your average student Hamdan, whose hobby was reading Law of Insomnia, wakes up to a beautiful novel like heroine. But even in the world of fantasy novels, her role is no different. Stuck as the childhood friend of the heroine, her normal everyday life comes to an end, becoming more twisted by her strong character. Alright, so this sounds fun. It is a reverse harem, which that was my guilty pleasure back in the day. And again, it's giving that isekai vibe that like everything was around COVID. It does say it's still publishing though, so this has been publishing for like 7 years now. A lot of people say it's also really, really funny. So yes, this is another one that I am recommending and one that I also really want to check out. Alright, so the next one is also another one that I saw during COVID and I just never got around to, and it is called Emperor and the Female Knight. Again, high community approval rating, and so let's hop into the synopsis. North continent countries, Kukta and Ahas, have always been on a constant war. Every noble in Ahas has to send one of their son to war. But the head of the Cannonbell family decided to send his daughter, Pollyanna Cannonbell, instead in favor of his second wife's child. Can a woman knight survive through the harsh military life? What fate is awaiting Pollyanna Cannonbell? Okay, I love this. I love a strong female lead, and that sounds like what we're gonna get. It is finished with 197 chapters, so that is quite a bit of chapters. But I kind of love that. Like, just reading the synopsis, I see why I remember it from back then, because yeah, this is definitely something that would enthrall me. Alright, and so the next one, I have it down as a different name than what is on Kitsu. Even though on Kitsu it is the Japanese name. But it has a bunch of different names, I guess just the translation. What I personally have is The Villainess Flips the Script, but it looks like it might be The Villainess Wants to Punish the Sadistic Prince. It does have a female lead that has red hair. Also, I can't tell. I made a little note when I made this list. If she doesn't have short hair, it's up most of the time. So it's still kind of on theme. This is actually, though, oh my goodness. Well, we're adding some manga into this video today because this is clearly a manga and not a manhwa. But you know what? If you read manhwa, I feel like you should also like manga and vice versa. But that's just me. Maybe I'm just not picky. But let's read the synopsis. I, Masako Seikei, an ordinary office lady in her 20s, fell to my death from the stairs of a train station right after my boyfriend dumped me. But when I woke up, I was reborn as the villainess in an otome game called, I'm gonna mess this up, Dues Uji Ranbu Choose Me, in which all the male characters are statistic boys. I lived a modest life, unable to be my true self, and then to die so easily was just awful. In this life, I'm going to live the life I've always wanted. I'll do whatever I want before I die. The typical tsundere prince, the spoiled little devil prince, the muscular gorilla type knight commander, and the sharp-mouthed chamberlain. I'm going to make them all into my playthings. So again, I can tell why I saved this because this is clearly a reverse harem, and that's like my favorite. But it's also a comedy, a fantasy, isekai, reverse harem, romance, all that good stuff. It is finished with 28 chapters. Again, not as many chapters because it is a manga instead of a manhwa. Alright, after some long pauses, because two of the manga slash manhwa aren't pulling up on Kitsu, so instead of doing 10 like I always do, I'm just gonna do the ones I have, because yeah, I'm not going to stress. I'm very chill right now. I'm just going to work with what I have, and hopefully these are still some recommendations you guys will end up checking out. All right, but so the next one is, so again, I have two names like always with translation. So I have She's My Type of Dream Girl, but when I look it up on Kitsu, the English name is She's My Type. It is another finished manhwa with 157 chapters. It also, again, it does not look to be like the historical isekai vibe. Actually, maybe I shouldn't say that. Let's check the types before I say it's not isekai. Not isekai. It's a comedy, drama, romance, and school life. So that's something, you know, that you don't usually see on my channel. After tomboy Heidem is, I feel like I'm saying that wrong, friend-zoned by her first love, she's determined to glow up before college. But when she makes the wrong impression on her first day of school, she realizes she needs the help of her reluctant neighbor. In exchange, she promises to put up with their living circumstances and keep a secret. What could possibly go wrong? Already intrigued by it. Already see why I saved it, because yeah, this is something that's definitely up my alley. Alright, this one I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before on my channel. It is a short-haired female lead, clearly. But I have, again, two translations. I have The Villain Discovered My Identity, or on Kitsu now it is called Caught by the Villain. It has a high community approval rating, and I have read this one and I have enjoyed as far as I was during it. But so I'll just hop into the synopsis quickly. Although she had been a promising practitioner of kendo in the past, due to an accident she was forced to lead a plain life. After Seiyo Yuri gets into a car accident during a trip back home, she reincarnates into the novel The Song of the Moon and becomes the elder twin sister of a side character who meets a destructive ending, Selena. Selena hopes to prevent the destruction of her family, however she is forced to take the place of her runaway brother, Celestine, in the Knight's Squadron. Will she be able to avoid the villainous Crown Prince Ignis and survive? So yeah, I've definitely read this one before and I did really enjoy it. So I should continue where I left off, which is also why I really like Kitsu, because now I can see where I left off and I do remember this one rather well. Some of the reviews right now that I'm reading just really quickly are saying it's different but mid and more unique and not like all the other reincarnation manhwas, so that's always nice if you are trying to look for something a little bit different and like kind of get out of your comfort zone. I know me personally, I kind of tend to enjoy the same things. But yeah, so I believe that was 8 manhwa. Usually I do 10 like I mentioned before, but we're just gonna leave it at 10 because I'm supposed to be going out. Hopefully this motivates you to check out some more manhwa. It definitely is motivating me because I do miss reading manhwa. It was something that I really enjoyed. And honestly, for me personally, manhwa is just something super quick that I can read. And yeah, I just really enjoy it. I enjoy having this community. So yeah, if you guys want any more recommendation type videos or anything like that, please feel free to leave comments down below and I'll definitely try to do that for you. Especially if it's like something that I'm really familiar with. Or if you've read any of these, let me know your thoughts and feelings on them. I feel like it was kind of all over the place. I had some isekai, I had some like historical, some like more modern ones. So like, I feel like it's a good mix if you just want to like check stuff out, you know? But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff down below. If you like my channel, please like, subscribe. I already said that. I'm just gonna say it again. If you liked it, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff down below. It really helps out my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day or had a great day, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.